of Mobile Bridge and with 15 years of global leadership. Mobile Bridge offers an automation platform that enables companies to reward their customers with crypto tokens. The Momentum token can replace air miles, freebies, Gamma cards, Karwei cards, and all the little stamps you get at the hairdresser. So that means you don't need all those stuff in your wallet anymore. You just get one token, and it's the Momentum token.
So when I started looking at blockchain, it was not out of an interest taking, building a cryptocurrency or doing an ICO. When we started looking at blockchain, it was from the perspective of having a real-life business and how can we use this technology to actually bring user experience forward and make really the end user experience better and really give benefit of technology to the end consumer. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about revolutionizing the marketing and the loyalty market on the back of blockchain technology. So as Henk already mentioned, I work for a company called Mobile Bridge. Mobile Bridge has got founders that originally started in Israel, came over to Amsterdam. I've got a business there. We've got an office in Switzerland. And what we do is mobile marketing technology. Everybody is unfortunately a victim of digital advertising, and these days it's quite poor, right? Digital advertising mainly being emails. Emails come at the wrong time. They're poorly personalized, and there's clearly too much spam around. So what Mobile Bridge set out to do was develop a platform which is mobile-based. And rather than, talking to the customer, so like giving them advertising, throughout the day, 24/7, what our technology does is it listens out to the consumers. It's like it monitors the behavior on the mobile phone. And only at the right moment in time where you are planning to buy something, or you may be finding out information about a product or finding a store, that's when we kind of like engage. And compared to typical digital marketing, which is fire and forget email, we actually start an engagement with someone. We start a conversation. We ask people questions. We listen to their answers. We ask for a bit more information. We tailor the user experience and make it better. And at the right moment in time in that user experience, what we do is we kind of like incentivize that consumer to kind of like make that journey to the store, to press that buy button, or to actually find out that information about the product that they are so looking for. And those incentives, that's what we're talking about in a moment. Because we used to use discounts, why don't you get, you get 5% discount if you now go into store. We maybe gave you a voucher, when you bought next, you get some money off. But now we started to talk about loyalty points, and that's super, super interesting. We've over the years worked with a lot of brands globally, there's a few there on the list, but one project that I'd like to talk to you about, which really kind of like brought us into blockchain and really started to change kind of like how we work. And that was a project we did last year, start of last year, with Burger King in Russia. And Burger King in Russia had a big, big problem. They came to the Russian market as one of the last fast food chains in the area. So, McDonald's was there, Subway was there, KFC was there, etc. And Burger King had to engage with their target audience really, really quickly and really, really effectively. So mobile was going to be the vehicle to do so, because between the ages of 19 and 23, the primary device to access and connect with the brand is over the mobile phone. And that's when we started building with that. So just to show you what we have built with Burger King in Russia. When the customer downloads the Burger King app, they immediately they can obviously store their data, but they immediately, from the moment they download the app, we start to build a relationship with this user, and the Mobile Bridge tooling will kick in. And as soon as the customer kind of like starts working, we say, hey, thank you very much for downloading the app. This is super cool. Thank you very, very much. And we give them some loyalty points. And we say, hey, thank you very much. This is awesome that you've downloaded the app. Here's 3 loyalty points. We show them their loyalty card. And then straight away, we start with them a conversation. We start the also important, engagement. And we show them through gamification, we show them, hey, these are the kind of rewards that you could be earning whilst you are getting those loyalty points. Maybe you like a burger, maybe you like a drink, maybe you like an ice cream. And based on that answer, we basically tailored the follow-up conversation. We basically say like, hey, if you want to earn that ice cream, why don't you, share us on Facebook? Why don't you let your friends know that you've downloaded the app? Why don't you leave your user details and we'll give you some points? Why don't you, come into our restaurant and, let us know what you think? And we, on and on, sort of like reward people with points, and we get them to a point where they actually get their reward. And this is every step. This is not only kind of like building conversation, but every step, this is letting the consumer do something that is good for Burger King. So now the user has kind of like get their rewards, they got their free ice cream, they walk past their restaurant, and we use their mobile phone to send them a message and say like, hey, don't forget that you've got your free ice cream. Why don't you come into the nearest restaurant and claim your free ice cream? They go to the counter, they show their loyalty card and say like, hey, look, I've got a free ice cream, can I please have it? The person behind the till types in the code, and bang, there's the free ice cream. Now, what does this mean for Burger King at this moment in time? They now have got somebody into their restaurant that previously may not have been in their restaurant. The conversion rate for Burger King in this particular situation is that half of the people that downloaded the app actually end up in a Burger King restaurant. These conversion rates are phenomenal. It's about 50% conversion rate on this particular promotion. People are in digital commerce. The average conversion rate, if you go onto a website, you end up buying something, is about 2%. So to have a 50% conversion rate, 50 to be clear, is phenomenally high. What also happened for Burger King is that the amount of downloads of the app without outside marketing funding, just by giving people loyalty points and saying like, why don't you tell your friends about this app? The amount of downloads doubled month on month on month, from April 2017 up to October 2017. Month on month doubling. And the retention, the amount of users that actually stayed with the app, that came back every month to find out more about Burger King, to earn more loyalty points and so forth, was nigh on 100%. So we were like, we're onto something here. This is quite good. This kind of like works. Burger King was super excited, and we were super excited, and we said like, all right, we need to do something with this. This is phenomenal. So we started thinking, and we basically said like, okay, so if we want to do this, for real, if we want to make a product out of this, we have two challenges. The first challenge was, in order to do personalization well and to have one-to-one conversations with people, we need to have their data. And everybody has heard about GDPR, data protection. People don't easily share their data anymore. They only share their data when A, they know they're going to get something back for it, and B, if they know that their data is secure. If they know and have clear visibility of what the brand is actually doing with their data. How is this data used? And even further, and now with GDPR, we have to, as a brand, you have to give the consumer the ownership to actually cancel out the use of the data. They are actually empowered to stop the use of their data completely. And as we heard about blockchain today, blockchain is a very transparent database. It's immutable. It's viewable for everybody. The content on a database, on a blockchain, is completely transparent. So we said, hey, why don't we use the blockchain and the fundamentals of the blockchain to actually to secure and to store the controls over this data? And that got us thinking, right, that's quite good, good use of technology. Secondly, if you start distributing value, in this case loyalty points, it's one of the prime use cases, if not the use case of blockchain technology. Bitcoin is just one use case of a Bitcoin blockchain of distributing value. In this case, it is the Bitcoin. So when we start distributing loyalty points, why don't we use the blockchain technology for it? And that's how the whole kind of like blockchain case study for us started rolling. That's when we started thinking about, hey, can we change our business proposition somewhat to use that blockchain and bring it together with our marketing tooling? So now, where are we? We are looking to change our proposition. We have changed our proposition, and we are bringing to the market the first blockchain and cryptocurrency-based marketing automation platform. Are we the first blockchain based company that is doing marketing? No. Are we the first one that does loyalty on the blockchain? No. However, we are the first one, the first company with an existing marketing product that is taking the blockchain to actually reward customers to support their favorite brands. And that's exactly what we're doing. We are launching the Momentum token and the Momentum platform to actually reward consumers not only when they buy from you, which is your typical loyalty program, but also when you support your favorite brands. For example, by recommending your friends, by, for example, signing up to their newsletter, by, for example, coming into store, or maybe sharing or leaving a product review. So this solves one of the first big problems that current loyalty programs have, and that is people simply can't earn enough tokens. The reality is people sign up on average to 20 to 25 loyalty programs in their life, but actually only end up using 1 or 2. Why? Because it is too hard to redeem your points. You can't earn enough tokens, and if you are earning enough tokens or enough points, then it's just too hard to use them. For example, I fly KLM a bit too regular for my liking. I have a few 100,000, if not 1 million plus points, and the only offer that I get from KLM is, can I do a car hire with Avis, or can I stay in a Hilton hotel? Neither of those companies I ever use. So I end up amassing points and not being able to do something with. So the second thing that we actually apply and that we are proposing and building in our product is to not only enabling consumers to earn more points, but then when they have those points, enable these consumers to exchange from one loyalty program to the next loyalty program. So for example, if I have KLM points, why can't I actually take some of those points and exchange them, for example, for a cup of coffee at Starbucks? Or it can take my family that I can actually never get a reward flight from KLM because I want to fly with my family in a school holidays, which is never achievable. Why can't I actually take them out for a movie or for a nice meal, or maybe buy an ice cream on the beach somewhere? So that's the other part that we do. So we allow people to earn loyalty points easier, and then secondly, we allow people to exchange from one loyalty program to the next. So we make sure that users actually get that experience, that they get value out of their loyalty systems and out of their loyalty cards. So how could that look like? Well, here's an example here on the left. This lady has just bought a bag. And this lady has just bought a beautiful bag, so she gets loyalty points. She gets, rewarded for this purchase, which is ultimately still the biggest task to do, right? You want to reward people for their buying behavior. But then our marketing tooling starts in. We understand what situation this lady is in, and then we basically suggest these are the kind of things that you can do next. These are the kind of points that you can earn next. So we say, why don't you, dear lady, share with your friends that you've just bought this bag? And there's a bit of a double bottom in this. On the first side, it's obviously, easily, there you go, here, please tell your friends that you bought the bag. Great. But these friends, automatically are highly targeted because the lady will only share with the friends that will be interested in this bag. So this is straight away personalized and human personalized. No AI, no machine learning, no nothing, no clever technology. This is just human behavior. I'm only going to recommend this to the friends that will be interested in this bag. From the people that actually sell this bag, this is hugely valuable information and hugely valuable in a marketing perspective. So they will reward this person for this recommendation actually quite highly. But of course, she can tweet about this bag, but she can also fill in a survey about this bag. Why did you buy this bag? Was it the color, the size, the price? So you get very valuable marketing information out of this transaction as well. And again, we will pay this lady for it. The other thing that we can do is, for example, we can reward people for leaving reviews, extended user reviews. And if they're really good, if they get really high ratings, we can even reward her more for producing high quality content. We can get people to actually come into store, to say why don't you come into store, book a shoe fitting, and actually come into store, and we can pay you for the particular shoe fitting. We actually, we want to talk to you, we want to make sure that you have the right product, and we will actually pay you in cryptocurrency for that particular action. We will never have spare loyalty points anymore. If you're going somewhere, you know, you buy a pair of shoes and it's just a one-off purchase and you kind of like, yeah, you sign up to a loyalty program, but you will never have enough tokens. Well, why don't you sort of like take those tokens and why don't you give them to someone who is interested in those loyalty tokens? Maybe even donate them to charity. But there's no point anymore or no need anymore for loyalty points to expire. And this is not just a digital issue. This is not just a digital proposition. You know, using AR, what we can actually do, augmented reality, we can actually do is to get people into store, leave a particular bonus or leave a particular reward in any specific location in store, and you can go and take your mobile phone and you can go over that particular parcel and boom, there are your reward tokens. So we can get actually people to physical locations in store. And this breaks and this resolves some of the hardest sort of like things in marketing these days. And that is making the link between digital commerce and physical stores. And this resolves that. So we can reward people, you know, for, of course, for buying behavior, but for leaving reviews, for writing recommendations, for introducing their friends, for coming into store, for all sorts of various actions. Yeah, so the marketing mix becomes an awful lot broader, and we pay consumers to do this. We pay consumers to kind of like leave their reviews and do marketing on behalf of retailers and brands. And that really changes the marketing mix completely. Because today, for a brand, for a retailer, they spend the vast majority of their marketing money on the outside ring in this circle, which is basically just customer acquisition. And it's extremely expensive. If I am Adidas and I have a room like you, I have to pay an awful lot of money. I have to talk to you all at the same time to find out who is the runner that is actually interested in our new Adidas running shoe. Yet, if I know one of you who is a runner and they can recommend me to the other runners in the room, I have highly effective, highly powerful marketing, and that is the inner circle, and that is ultimately why loyalty programs were built. They were actually to build customer relations and to make sure that your best customers, you know, would recommend you to their friends and their other buying companions. And that's ultimately what we are doing. So back to blockchain, because this is just a business story. Back to blockchain, how do we use blockchain? Because people always want to know in an ICO, why are you using blockchain? How are you using it? Firstly, it is a loyalty, it's a ledger for loyalty points, you know, so we can securely store value and distribute it accurately and securely. And secondly, we manage the access, you know, to user profile data on the blockchain as well. So again, immutable, secure, and completely transparent. So if somebody says like, you should not access my data, then we have a very, very clear proof of record there. The Momentum token itself is what we call a utility token. That means that it is not a security token, i.e. it doesn't give you any rights in our company or a share in our company or a right to future profits, etc. A utility token, if you invest in ICOs, if you buy tokens, you have to look at the utility token and see how it's used. What will drive up the demand for this particular token? Is it a fixed supply of tokens? And if you see enough demand for that token with a fixed supply, then economics says that the price will go up. A typical utility token could be a cryptocurrency, for example. The Bitcoin, you know, it's a cryptocurrency. It holds as a store of value and you can trade it. That's something what we do, but then on top of it, the Momentum token is a reward token, for example. It is a token that allows you to go from loyalty program A to loyalty program B. It actually will go via the Momentum token, so that will create demand, as well as the people that use our system, you know, brands, retailers, etc. They pay a monthly fee and they pay that in Momentum token. So again, every month there'll be large demand for that token. And although we're not a security token, it is very important that we are quite a rare and unique utility token, from the perspective that a typical utility token, an ICO, everybody can say, here is a token and it's worth X. When you are using your utility token like we do, in order to back up on loyalty programs, something happens. And what happens is that we connect the real world and real world money and bricks and mortar businesses to the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. When you start as a retailer, when you start up a loyalty program, you have to put a liability for the value of that loyalty program on your balance sheet. So if Kruidvat, for example, or Gamma, or Praxis, or whatever, any company will start a loyalty program, and that loyalty program is worth 10 million, then they have to put a liability on their balance sheet of 10 million. That means suddenly I have a cryptocurrency that is backed up by a bricks and mortar retailer. And that gives an awful lot of stability, and it gives an awful lot of security around, a cryptocurrency, something that we have not seen that often before. So we believe that this market, the loyalty market, is ready for disruption. Every year, about $500 billion worth of loyalty tokens and loyalty programs are traded globally. $500 billion in loyalty systems everywhere. However, as much as half of loyalty points in these programs will actually expire and are simply wasted. So this is a $500 billion investment every year, and half of it does not deliver any return on investment whatsoever. So we're going to take some of those unused tokens, and we're going to apply them to marketing. We're going to take those tokens and we're going to encourage consumers to do a little bit of marketing for brands and say, like, why don't you come to store? Why don't you recommend your friends? Why don't you share on Facebook? Why don't you do a tweet? Why don't you leave a product review? So this is a completely different way of marketing. So we expect that part of $1 trillion marketing budget is going to go towards this new way of loyalty and marketing capability. With a slightly different ICO, as you may see in the market. With an existing business, with an existing product that's already successfully trading with brands such as Praxis, Burger King, Pirelli, LVMH, Bilka Supermarkets, VW, Audi, and a number of other brands all over the world, from China to the US. We have a team that has got a background in successful delivery of product globally to the world. Part of our team has been part of a company called Hybris before. Hybris runs e-commerce for the likes of Bijenkorf, used to be Vroom & Dreesman, Kruidvat here in the Netherlands, and many, many different other brands. It was purchased by SAP for $1.5 billion. The founders of that team and the former CEO backing this company as well. So they know what they're doing. I used to work for the company. I used to run product for SAP. Broader speaking, the team as a whole, we have got advisors that have got backgrounds in Google, in Amazon, and in Apple. Blue chip company background, Intel, Shell, MasterCard, but also, as I mentioned, SAP Hybris, Oracle, Broadvision, all backgrounds that are incredibly relevant and important to support a business like ourselves. So where you look out on ICOs, and as the guys have already been saying today, when you buy tokens in ICOs, when you are interested in buying tokens in ICOs, do your research carefully. Make sure that this is not a flash in the pan. Make sure that there is a team behind it, a product behind it, and a business plan behind it. Because besides the fact that this is all very exciting, and of course, you can buy a token at a particular low price and hope that it kind of goes up. These days, it's all about the business plan. It's all about the team. It's all about having a real business idea. So we are in the middle of a private sale at the moment. We've done a friends and family business that allowed us and enabled us to start our marketing and start running with this. It also allowed us to go past our soft cap. The soft cap in an ICO is the minimum amount of money that you want to raise. So we have gone past 2.5 million euros already. That means that we are live as a product and as a project. That means that I'm hiring people at this moment in time. I'm doing blockchain development. I'm doing proof of concept, so on and so forth. And we are continuing into private sale up to our public sale, where we can offer our token to the public market, with no boundaries to access whatsoever. In our ICO, this money is used squarely to support the business. There are ICOs out there where 15, 20, 25% of tokens goes to the management team, 2 or 3 guys that have just come out of university and that really fancy a Lamborghini. In our business, it's slightly different. We have 3% that we reward to the entire team. We have a business of 30 people. They all share in these tokens. They're all vested, so that means they don't get them on day one. And it means that all of the money that we raise, or the vast majority of money that we raise, is actually going into making this a success. Thank you very much.